Why the fuck is it when we all agree something is broken, it becomes much harder to fix it? So the same thing goes with the America's infrastructure, or the stuff that makes modern life modern. The roads, bridges, tunnels, dams, energy grids, water systems, and sewers that America is built on, it separates us from our pioneering forefathers, and when they fail, it reminds us just how different we are from those hardy pioneers. Back in the naive days of early January, Washington watchers had thought that for legislation to pass a contentious and narrowly divided 117th Congress, it would need the near universal bipartisan appeal. Like fixing potholes, infrastructure spending, we knew a price tag would be hard to agree upon, but we were also certain that by looking where the gulf across the Iowa smallest, Congress could register good wins for America. But something odd happened. Maybe it was a policy high from passing that swift and stunning COVID relief bill without a single Republican vote, or maybe it was genuine worry that they'd only have one more chance to check off their wish list. But progressives in Congress choose the path of least prudence, and they started packing the national infrastructure measures with proposals that don't fund any actual infrastructure project at all. But infrastructure means different things to different people. One man's critical public need is another man's highway boondoggle. But a good rule of thumb is that infrastructure spending done right requires some degree of public oversight, and it benefits the general public. It usually benefits the economy too, thanks to the built-in health, efficiency, and productivity improvements. For example, repairing a bridge might cut substantial time from the average commute for a region's worker. That time savings translates into lower stress and greater quality of life for the commuters, and greater productivity for the area businesses. Even those nowhere near the bridge will benefit from fewer traffic backups that once ripple throughout the area. The home care worker pay, job training programs, government-funded scientific research, and tackling inequalities based on gender may all be admirable topics for public debate, but they're not infrastructure. They all appeared in President Biden's initial infrastructure proposal. Now, why is this important to the Republicans? Because if you stretch the definition of infrastructure to include things that aren't, you can't measure the impact that infrastructure spending has on your economy. You only see the price tag, and not the return on that investment. Which means in the future, you can't come back and ask America to invest in more improvements with a straight face. But the infrastructure spending that reduces the economy more than it produces can only last as long as it can. And to be fair, President Biden, who appearing to learn the wisdom of not biting off more than America is ready to swallow, he split his proposal into two. First, the hard infrastructure that needs builders and engineers, that's meant to boost a gross domestic product, and second, the squishier, softer infrastructure that involves a lot of social engineering but no engineers at all. A bipartisan group of senators worked together and with the White House on the hard infrastructure package to repair and modernize and strengthen America's roads, bridges, electrical grids, and water systems. After significant back and forth and a lot of debate about how to pay for it, they settled on a $1.2 trillion package that includes $550 billion in new spending, which then passed in the Senate. The House Problem Solvers Caucus and major business and industry groups across the U.S. have come in favor of the plan. Now, it shouldn't be surprising, though, that the issue enjoys broad support across America, and far from being single-mindedly anti-spend, the Republicans came to the table and negotiated in good faith, which is kind of surprising, agreeing to spend about the same amount as the squatter Trump proposed for infrastructure back on the campaign trail that he never passed. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who's a Democrat from California, is not having it. And despite the support infrastructure that draws across the country and the urgent need for swift action, she says she won't let the Senate pass bipartisan bill see the light of day unless a $3.5 trillion progressive wish list of squishier, softer infrastructure passes. A bill that Democrats have not yet shared with the American public and aren't even trying to make it bipartisan anyway. Last week, 9 House Democrats proved that sanity can appear across party lines, and they called on Pelosi to drop the politicking and let the bipartisan plan pass without delay. They put their constituents and country above the partisan manipulation and maneuvering, and in that response, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives dismissed their appeal as an amateur hour. If investing to make to make the foundations of America more reliable, secure, non-polluting, and resilient is an amateur hour. It's far preferable to the arrogance hour that the speaker is projecting. She must not trust that what she's telling has much merit. Otherwise, she'd let the House members do their job, deliberate on, and pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill that the Senate already sent over. Then, once it is shared with her fellow Americans, deliberate on the partisan non-infrastructure boondoggle, and file this under why we cannot have nice things when politicians take something that we all agree upon is broken and they bungle the process until it's virtually unfixable. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel RBW King, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And thanks for listening.